Hey everybody, welcome to the couch. And I wanted to do with this is to take a moment, one-on-one with you all, to talk about some recent or current events going on in the politics on the left side in the DNC election. We're actually coming up to, as most of you will probably know, a real turning point where the next few weeks are going to really have a huge impact on what the rest of the election cycle is going to look like. It's very neck and neck. Biden still commands the lead, and for those of you who, like me, are in support of a progressive candidate, this is really at a crucial time. It's very clear that whether you like Warren or not, if what you're interested in is a progressive candidate for a presidency, her political maneuvers, whether you believe her claim about what Bernie said or not, they have not resulted in the kind of gains she was hoping for. It's very clear it's resulted in a pretty massive backfire, and the significant number of polls that have come out in the last couple of weeks have made that abundantly clear. So if what you're looking for is a progressive policy platform for your candidate, then even if you're currently feeling a little shaky on Sanders, if there's something from 2016 that left a bad taste in your mouth, that your best bet is really to back him anyway. Now, one of the biggest things that's been coming, I feel, with regards to how a progressive is going to win this, is to look at what it is that the current establishment candidate, Biden, is doing, and what it is that he's winning on. I've been listening to a lot of my favorite people over at the, Rising at the Hill, listening to Kyle Kulinksi and some other folks, David Pakman, and I've been really enjoying a lot of their feedback, and they've come up with some insights that I feel were really helpful for this, community of progressives to listen to. But they're missing something really essential, which is, I feel, a fundamental understanding of how the conservative, independent, right-leaning kind of crowd thinks. The sort of Joe Rogan centrist and people that are what I would call gettable, votes. Because with the recent endorsement from Joe Rogan for Bernie Sanders, this is a huge deal. It gives real credibility and real possibility to see Bernie get a lot of votes in the primary, not in the primary, but in the general election, he might not have picked up otherwise. But how is he going to get through the primary? That's the real question, right? So why is it that Biden is still doing so well? Why is he still so resilient in the polls, poll after poll, staying within a couple of points of around 30%, no matter what he does, no matter how badly he does it? That's the question. And the answer to it is very simple. He is selling one message and one message alone. It's not even that he's the most electable. The message he's sending is, I am the strongest candidate. Now, strength translates to electable, but strength is what he's selling. You heard it all throughout the last year. I'll beat him like a drum. Look how many push-ups I can do. All of this silly stuff that people in the left camp tend to laugh or scoff at resonates really well with the American public, and it's why you get presidents like Bush Jr. It's why you get presidents like Trump. It's why these guys won, not because they were the best on policy, not because people necessarily liked their personal life or their backgrounds or their behaviors. It was only because they respected what they saw as the appearance of strength in leadership, and that portion of the population is substantial that responds to that. Just to pivot for a second, if you've seen some stats out there, it says something along the lines of like 82% of people in management positions are actually not good management personality wise, and it's because these studies basically revealed that the appearance of confidence is often mistaken for competence, and that's the kind of leadership we've been seeing time and again. So if we fail to show strength, what we're going to end up with is another, Biden versus Trump election. And let's be real, when Biden gets in front of Trump, his one selling point of strength will be dashed on the rocks because he cannot keep up mentally at this point with where Trump is, as hard as that is to say, believe me, Trump is no giant in the mental, realm, but what he is good at is coming up with ways to mess with people and to make them look bad. And if we're going to win, we need someone who can keep up. Now, how do we do this? How does Bernie make the case, and will he make the case? I really hope he will. I hope that this gets heard, because this is a specific strategy, a specific nuance that I feel like is getting missed. And I'll be straightforward with you. The reason that I feel like qualified to say this is because I was a former Republican who, in his first election cycle, voted for a Republican president. And, I grew up in a house with a Republican father, and the culture of the time was the very Reagan Republican thing. I was able to get a strong understanding of that mindset, and I feel like a lot of the people that I really like today, they're missing that detail of just how important strength, or the perception of strength, is to so many voters out there, including voters on the left. So how does he say, I'm stronger than Biden? Or even that I'm stronger than Trump? He needs to say that his strength is his determination, his fight for 40 years to make America into the best version of itself. That is the selling point. And if Sanders can't convince people, he's going to lose. He's going to lose if he can't say, I'm the strongest. And now, Biden has been wrong on crime. He's been wrong on banking policy. He's been wrong on student loans. He's been wrong on basically every major policy decision he's ever made that we even care about in today's, political climate. And at the same time, Trump has flipped on virtually every issue that he had, as far as abortion, as far as just about anything other than maybe taxes, before he decided to run for president in the last few years. So with that, Bernie is the only one that has true consistency, honesty, and integrity. And that concept, all of that together is what strength is. And that's the case he needs to be making to the American people. He's already won on the issues. When you look at some recent polling, you show time and time again, Sanders is trusted most on the issues. He is the most popular senator in the U.S., so we already like him. We already believe he has the best intentions for us, and that we agree the most with his policies. But because people do not perceive him as stronger than Biden, they are not as likely to trust him. And that's what's going to lose him this primary election. So if we want to show that, we need to make that case. We need to pivot away from trust me on policy. It's a dead horse. Okay? We've already won that battle. We need to say, here's why Bernie is strong. The strongest. And if we show that relentless pursuit of 40 years of doing what he believed was best for American people, and pound it in again and again. This is strength. Show him at those great moments, at those speeches he's been making, campaign rallying, those big booming moments where he gets the crowd moving. We need to show strength. And I'm repeating it again and again because it is so important to relay that message to the folks who have more than 0 viewers, right? To the Kyle Kulinskis, to the David Pakmans, to the rising folks, the people who have the most support. They need to get this out to their followers, because those are the folks that the campaign has proven they're willing to listen to, and it needs to get heard. I hope it does. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. I'll be uploading more soon.